Yo, what is up? Just want to recap my day, which was dope. So remember that DJ I told you about that I had connected out of the blue from at Burning Man?
To show up to your shows in the future, do I just like show the NFT or like how does that work?
No, you need to text me in advance so I add you to the guest list.
Okay.
You know, like whenever you're coming, you tell me like, bro, I want to go to that one, and then like I put you on the guest list.
Well, I had a second follow-up call, introduced him to a good buddy of mine who's a player in the space. This dude was talking with Jay-Z, The Weeknd, during the last bull market about their NFTs. He was on this call helping my boy with his current NFT launch. There was something very interesting about that because this guy, the DJ, was looking for guidance for the right answer. And he wanted to do things the right way. You could tell there was this perfection. But the irony is this, he's an artist. He's used to this nebulous discovery process of finding your own style, your own voice. And I even asked him, how long? How many songs did you create? And what did it take for you to find your voice? And he said, about 30 songs in 7 years. I could see that he went from being slightly overwhelmed to, by the end of the call, when we gave him all these possibilities and ideas, he went from overwhelmed to, you know what, these are the low-hanging fruits that I can feel excited about, and I have this sense of direction of the things that I know I can do to kick some ass. And to take the pressure off, because right now, he doesn't need to make the perfect NFT. This is the time to start, to show that, hey, I'm not in it just because it's a gold rush. I'm in it for real because I care about the art, the purpose behind it, and the fans, and I want to give to them as a thank you. And to expand my audience and myself as an artist. And I thought that was fucking dope. It's so funny because I do believe that how we live life is an art. And we're all artists in our own ways at the end of the day. Even business people. Alex Hormozi talked about this too. He's like, some people are entrepreneurs and have business as their art. And the reason why this topic feels so meaningful to me, I'll come back to. And all this will make sense because there's all sorts of interconnections here that I realized today. After that call, I had my first team meeting with my Channel Jumpstart group. Team Pink, what? It was great to meet all sorts of people from different parts of the US, I'm not gonna say the world, but I don't know if you'd catch us all in the same room had it not been for YouTube because of our such varied backgrounds. But I came in with the intention of not only wanting to squeeze as much juice out of these next 6 weeks from this program, but to also contribute as much value and develop some meaningful relationships from this. Every training program that I've ever taken in the past, there was always at least one, maybe two relationships, maybe a handful, that ended up becoming lifelong friends of mine. Even I got this ring lamp from a buddy that I met from a program that I took in New York years ago, and we ended up traveling together, doing some fun things together, and I'm thankful for that. Thank you so much, Brian. One of the things that I did as a low-hanging fruit to add value was basically take notes on the call and organize in a spreadsheet our names, our channels, our missions, our goals, and some follow-up notes. Initially, I was just gonna keep this for myself. Then I thought, wait a minute, let me add value to the coach, because how can I add value to this person who probably is light years ahead of me? Maybe notes on the group. And then you know what I thought? Fuck it. Let me actually share this with the whole group so we can all be on the same page together and all succeed together. That thing reminded me of a particular life experience that I had in the past. When I was a college student, I was gung-ho about being an investment banker, breaking into investment banking from a non-finance background. I went to a good school. However, it was not one of those feeder schools, the Whartons, the Sterns of the world, where basically everyone gets fed into, a bulge bracket bank is what they call it. Those top big banks, the JP Morgans, the Goldmans, the Morgan Stanleys. So I really had to do something extra. And when I decided that was going to be my path, whether that was for the right or wrong reasons, that's a whole nother philosophical conversation I can get into. Once I decided that was my path, I was willing to break down every wall, door to make it happen. I did the most uncomfortable things for me at the time, which was reaching out to complete strangers who I thought were of higher status, of higher value than me, people that I had no right to talk to. We're talking associates, vice presidents, directors at these big ass banks that were important. I remember sneaking into an interview for a different school with a suit on, resume under my arm and one of those little neat booklets, and just like catching them on their way out and shaking, but giving my weak ass pitch, which was not bad at the time, but you know, in retrospect with the standards that I know I could have done it then, managed to lock down some coffee meetings in a completely different city, New York, some interviews as a result of it, and I ended up converting and breaking in. So what does it have to do with this team meeting that I had? Well, one of the interviews that I had was what they call a super day. And in a super day, they take all the final candidates, put them in a room, make them do all sorts of assessments. One of the things is a group exercise where you have a case study that you have to work on in a group, and there's always a room full of different personalities. You got people who are trying to be alphas and take over. You have the nerd, you have the quant, you have the social person, you have all sorts of variety of characters, and they just want to see how people gel together and who could be a team player, right? And who can lead at the right times too. One of the tips that I got from a junior and a senior was, in those situations, be the team player by doing the things that no one else is thinking of doing, adding value in ways that the group forgets about. And in these pressure cooker situations that they fabricate to see how you handle, there are these timed situations where you have to come up with a conclusion, some recommendations on how to handle the situation with the facts that you have on hand, and they always slide in facts at the last minute. But they said, be the guy that keeps time, keep everyone organized, take the notes, facilitate, get people involved, assert your opinion at the right times. However, doing all these other things, being the team player, is how you can stand out. So I remember doing that for different interviews. And it was just funny how, at the time, I did it and I felt grateful for that bit of wisdom, because it increased my chances of doing something that I felt like I had to do. It was do or die. If I didn't get this job, I'd be fucked. I'd be literally working at McDonald's or doing some bullshit job that I had no interest in doing. Like, if I didn't get an internship or an entry-level job, I'd literally have to go to grad school and be like this whole endeavor, blah, 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 blah. This was my shot to do it and I was gonna make it. That type of wisdom really went a far way. However, when I got in, I had this weird nebulous feeling that this wasn't it, like this wasn't fun, but I didn't have the courage to embrace it. I had the wrong paradigm of success. I thought that I had to be a person that was analytical and forgo all the gifts that I could bring, because there was no place, there was no responsibility or duty for me to use the things that I was good at, which were my people skills. Clearly the courage that I had to go up to meet people, it's not something that I do when I'm sitting behind my cubicle. But I just kept sticking with it because I'm like, I'm not a quitter, like this is what I have to do. If I don't do this, like what am I gonna do? Like, I just didn't also have enough of the map uncovered. I only knew so much of the territory. So looking back, I wish I had someone else to tell me, hey, look, there's other parts of the map that I can help you uncover. Look at this